Hi, you guys. Welcome back to another episode of Love Sis. My name is Vanessa, and I'm so excited to be doing another podcast episode for you guys. So, I have big news, and you probably have already seen it if you're following my page and if you follow me on my vlogs and everything, but I am engaged, which this is just so crazy. If you're watching on live, here, I'm going to show you the ring up close a little bit. So I'm engaged. I think it's crazy. I don't know. I have a whole story time on my TikTok that you can go and listen to. I'll spare you the news because I've said it like 10 times on all my platforms. So I will spare you the news. But I just thought I'd update you guys a little bit. It's a beautiful day today. It is Wednesday and it's actually 50 degrees out or 50 something degrees out. So that feels like spring to me because it's been literally 5 degrees out in New England over here. On the East Coast, it's just been freezing, but I'll take the 50, seeing that that is much better than being 20 degrees out. I am going to try to go for a walk later, and I don't know about you guys, but I just love the spring. Spring is one of my favorite seasons, and I just love that the weather changes. I'm really over the winter. Not to complain, I'm really over the snow. Like, I don't want to see snow for like a really long time, and I'm really good with just sun. And I honestly miss going for walks. I miss doing my healthy girl walks. I miss going outside and just like clearing my mind, and I'm just super excited for that. You have to let me know what you guys are excited for in the comments, and what is your favorite season. Let me know your favorite season. And yeah, but today I am really excited. I want to do a whole episode just on girl advice, just from girl to girl. And I just feel like it's been something in my life the past even like month. I've just been having a lot of really good conversations with girls, like girls my age. I'm 24, I'm in my 20s, and just things about college, school. And I just find myself like outpouring advice that I wish that I had when I was younger, advice that I truly think can actually literally change your life and change the trajectory of how your life is, which like I wish I had that when I was younger. So I was like, why don't I just do a whole episode on girl talk, girl advice, just from girl to girl. And hopefully this can just feel like I'm like your big sister trying to give you advice. And to be honest, every time I do these episodes, I am giving you advice, but I'm also giving myself advice, and not just myself now, but my younger self. And it's funny. It like feels like I'm talking to like the younger Vanessa, and just things that I think all of us as girls should know and like live by. So I have about like 20-ish, or no, I'm sorry. I have like 15 advice tips, and I hope that this just brings you some clarity. And actually, before I get into the video, I want to tell you guys something cool that I'm doing that I've launched on my Instagram, but I haven't announced here. And I am creating a brand called Amelia Maria, inspired by my mom and my aunt who had passed away in 2017 to a rare disease called CJD. And I'm so excited because I've always dreamt of having my own brand ever since I was a little girl, and I feel like this was the right timing. I've always just been waiting for the right time to do something, and it's called Amelia Maria, and I'm just excited to kind of share with you guys what it is going to be about. You can follow the Instagram, and I did launch a little bit of the logo and different things, but I am going to kind of take you guys with me through the process a little bit. So that'll be on like my Instagram, my vlogs on YouTube. And I really want to do a lot of different types of things. It's a lifestyle brand is what I called it, because I just couldn't narrow it to one thing. And it doesn't make sense for me because I don't really just love one thing. I like a lot of different things that make up who I am. And I just think that having a brand is just another extension of who you embody or what you embody. And so I really just want it to be handmade, like really ethically created and beautiful pieces for you guys to enjoy. I love pajamas because I love feeling like I have a set put on together. And one of my favorite things to do is like wind down at night and like journal. And my also favorite things to do, because I'm a Christian, are to wake up and spend time with God and to fill my mind with the word of God and positive things that I've been doing ever since I have been walking with God. And so that reminded me of pajamas, which like, because every morning I just love having a cute set of pajamas on. And there's just something about it. So that's just something I love. And so that's why it just feels super personal to me. And that's why I feel like if you're going to create anything, you want it to be really organic and like on brand. Like if I came out with like, I don't know, like a motorcycle thing, it like wouldn't make sense to me because it's not what I love. But if you're coming out with something that embodies the things that you already naturally love, it will make sense for people. And so that's kind of my take on it. And hopefully you guys love it as much as I do. I'm putting a lot of hard work and thought into these things. And so there will be a lot of different things. People have asked me like, what is it? And so pajamas are probably the first thing I really want to focus on. Just like spring pajamas. I love skincare. So some type of skincare types of things, like face masks and just different things like that. And then I also love cooking. So there's definitely going to be some type of homeware, something down the line. And so, yeah, I just have a lot of ideas and I'm really excited to kind of just use my creativity and dabble that into that. So that is just a little bit about what my brand embodies and how I'm excited to start doing that and sharing it with you guys. But now I want to talk to you guys just about some 15 habits, I think it was 14 or 15 that I came up with. And let's talk about girl advice. So if you have a drink or something, get cozy, get comfortable, let's hang out, and let's just talk about girl advice and just different things that I wish I knew. With the first one coming out with a banger, which is inside beauty over outside beauty. So focusing on becoming the best version of yourself inside and out. I wish this was something I focused on when I was younger. And you really want to just reflect on who you are becoming and like what you want to embody. Like that is like my first piece of advice with inside beauty. So I just think that when I was younger, like in high school, I did not really I didn't put emphasis on my inside beauty as much as I did my outside beauty, and I just got the two mixed up. And I hope that you who is watching are inspired that you should always emphasize more on the inside beauty of who you're becoming, of who you are, like of becoming someone you're proud of, you know, having dreams, having goals, like going after those things, like that's going to make you confident. That's going to make you have inward beauty, treating people with kindness, actually following the Bible and doing the things that the Lord calls us to do. That's going to be really important. And so like another point I made is like, have you ever met someone who's, you know, physically attractive, but you just have a conversation with them and you just leave and you just are like, I'm sorry, that person just looks so ugly to me in their eyes, because just because they're really beautiful on the outside doesn't mean that they're beautiful on the inside, and it shows. And there's nothing that bothers me more than like a really beautiful girl who just acts like she's better than everybody and she's not beautiful on the inside. I just think it's not a good look. It's not what you want to be. It's not what you want to cultivate. Like you're not trying to be this like mean girl. Like it's just not cute and it's hurtful and it's ugly. And that can sound harsh, but like it gives off an ugly aroma. So it's like, be nice to people, be kind, be generous, be loving, be all that God has called you to be. Like why would you just focus on your outward beauty when everything comes from within? And the most beautiful part about you will always be your heart and who you are. So it's like I live by that. And so that's just where my confidence lies. It lies in who God says I am and making sure that I'm, you know, having to constantly work on the inside of me more than my outside. So hopefully that makes sense. The second one I have is having a servant's heart. So I don't know if you've ever heard of that before, but for example, like a servant's heart is someone who thinks of other people, somebody who's willing to serve, someone who's willing to put other people's needs before their own and not just think of themselves, not be so self-absorbed, not be so self-centered. That kind of goes with inward beauty, but like it's kind of in a different sense. Like it's like not being selfish. And for example, like random acts of kindness is something that makes me feel super good. So over the years, I've seen God change me into constantly just thinking about other people, and thinking about others makes you reflect the heart of Jesus so much. And it just gives you such a purpose driven life. And ever since I've started like caring about other people and just truly like putting myself in other people's shoes, it gives you so much more compassion for other people. It also makes you like Jesus. And that's what we're called to be. Like, we're supposed to, want to pray for people and help other people. And yes, I do think this needs boundaries around it. Like, we can't always be helping people. We're not people's savior, but it doesn't mean that we can't extend our hand when it's maybe not convenient for us, or, even just using your own story to like encourage someone else, like just kind of always being like outward focused and like, who can I serve today? Who can I help? How can I give back in some way? How can I really listen attentively to this person instead of making it all about myself? Like having a conversation with someone, like actually looking at them in their eyes, like actually caring about what they're going through, like having compassion and caring about other people. And even if like you have a disagreement with someone, like actually just like hearing them out, like you don't have to agree with, even if you have like a different religion, a different belief, like being able to be mature enough to like listen to what someone else is saying, of even if they're saying like they're not making like they're not making you feel good. Like this has happened to me recently. Like people not people, but this will happen with a lot of people, like even just like difference in beliefs. Like if someone disagrees with you, it's like instead of getting super defensive, it's like just being able to be like, I hear you. You don't have to be defensive, even if they're wrong about you. Like just caring about that person and like I'm so sorry. My camera continues to die and I keep leaving off like you guys on a cliff note. But anyways, I was just saying to have a servant's heart, and even just ending off on that one, like with like every morning, I just want to let you guys know like how amazing I feel after I'll spend time with God, and then I just go and do something for someone else and not myself, and I just serve someone else, or I just write someone a kind message. Personally, I like to encourage people right in the morning after I've had encouragement poured into me, because I just feel like it automatically makes life so much better. I love to memo my friends. I have a group chat where I like to encourage people, because it's a gift that God's given me, not for myself, but for other people. And so there's things that you have that God has given you that are not for yourself, and it's for other people. It's not just for yourself, but it is for other people as well. So always keep that in mind. Like things that naturally come easy to you, like use it for the good of other people. And you're going to feel just so beautiful from that and really fulfilled. So the third thing is a fun one, and I wrote getting dressed every single morning, or taking the time to just pour into yourself, make yourself feel and look presentable. Focusing on washing your hair and doing a little bit of makeup if that's something that you are into. I personally love makeup. You guys know that. I love skincare. I love taking care of myself. This is just going to help you to just show up your best. Not saying you need this to feel better about yourself, but it does make sense to put effort into how you look, because it's like your body, the Lord says that our body is our temple. And so even in Proverbs 31, it says that she was dressed in scarlet, and essentially she took time out of her day to make herself look presentable. And with that, you end up feeling presentable and you feel better. And so personally, to me, it just feels good to put on a nice little outfit, something that is just, even if it's like lounging around the house, like a sweat set or something that's just going to match, like, get rid of all your like mix match socks, like things that have holes on them, things that have stains on them. Like those things are just going to make you look dingy, and like you don't have to spend a lot of money to look good. So it just is like 10 minutes, 20 minutes even out of your morning to just like make sure you're brushing your teeth, taking care of your hygiene, like brushing your hair, getting daily hair. I'm sorry, not daily. That would be crazy. Daily haircuts, yearly haircuts, and, getting manicures here and there, or trimming your nails. Like you don't have to like spend a lot of money. That's not the point of this. But personally, it's important for me to feel good and make sure that I can just say for myself, like whenever I have on a nice outfit, like I love dresses in the spring. I just love the way they make me feel. I love skincare. I love like moisturizer on my skin. It just like makes me feel like my skin is hydrated. I love taking care of myself. I love making smoothies with spinach and peanut butter and things that I like. It's not like unenjoyable. It's actually really enjoyable for me, because I need to have that in order to optimize at my best level. And you don't have to, like, don't get me wrong, like, don't spend 4 hours getting ready on yourself. Like, I used to do that in high school. Like, I was like way too over the top, but there is power in getting up and dressing up for the day, looking presentable. Like, if you run into someone, like, you don't, like, you're not like hiding, like, oh my gosh, what do I look like? And I just have noticed in that minor little shift in my life, I've legitimately felt amazing. And like, from girl to girl, I just think that that's something every girl should know and have advice on. Okay, so the fourth one I have is no to people pleasing and over committing. Oh my gosh, I've done this so many times. I mean, I'm an ex-addict people pleaser. Like, it's not even funny. Like, I literally had a problem with not being able to say no to things, thinking that if I said no, I was a mean person, thinking I was a bad person. Can I just tell you that you are not a bad person because you're saying no? Like, you need to say no more. And most successful people say no, and they're very picky with their yes. Someone who I look up to, Priscilla Shire, she's a minister, pastor, she's in ministry. She says that she's very picky with her yes. And yes, she's a Christian. Because for some reason, I don't know why, people who are Christian think that just because you're a follower of Jesus means you have to like be Jesus to everybody. And yes, we are called to serve, but like, you're not supposed to be everywhere all the time. You need to discern the Lord's voice of what he wants you to do and where. And a lot of things can be a distraction. So you need to be aware of that. And if you're not a Christian and you're just going through life, it's like a lot of people are going to maybe ask you to do things, and you don't always have to say yes to them. You have to learn how to say no. And because if you don't learn how to say no, you're going to most likely, because I know for myself, I would feel resentful. I would have a lot of resentment. And can't you just remember a time when like you chose to do something and say yes to something, and you're like literally getting ready to go and you're like, why did I say yes to this? Like, it almost feels like a task that you can't stand to do. You're like, I don't want to go do this. Like, why did I say yes to this? Yeah. And the Lord tells us to be firm with our yes and our no's. So it's like, if you say yes to something, if I say yes to something, I don't want to back out because I've already committed to it. And the Bible actually tells us not to do that. But that doesn't mean that you say yes to everything. And a little piece of advice that I would love to give you, because this was something that someone gave me once. She said, if you don't know, like let's say you like don't, someone asks you to do something and you don't have something going on, but you don't know what to say. She's like, just say, I will get back to you. Don't say yes and don't say no, but say, I will get back to you. I'm going to look at my schedule. I have to check my schedule. Therefore, you're not committing to something before you have to. And a lot of this is people pleasing. It's like you care so much about letting someone else down, but you're going to let yourself down. That's not loving yourself. And so saying no to people pleasing and just overcommitting yourself, because that just leads to burnout. I mean, we've all been there. And just as a girl in your 20s, like especially if you're young, a lot of people take advantage of you or will try to take advantage of you because they know that you're naive and you're young, and you have to be strong and firm. And like, even when you first meet people, like read people's body language. Like, you don't, just because they're like older and maybe they're like business owners or something, the way that they speak to you, it could be out of disrespect sometimes. And so people sometimes think because you're young, like you don't know anything, and it's not true, because there's a lot of people who are younger who are very smart and very wise. And yeah, you don't have to feel guilty for saying no to something. And I think it just depends on the situation, but definitely eliminating this will make you feel so much better. And yeah, don't feel guilty for everything. Like, you can be picky with your yes. You don't have to feel guilty for that. So that's something I have always struggled with up until the past year. I've become way more stronger within myself. And yeah, it might even piss people off, honestly. Like, it probably will bother people that you're so firm and strong, but that's none of your business. It doesn't matter if you are affecting other people like that. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Okay, the fifth one I have is take everything back to God. So just because something works for someone else doesn't mean it'll work for you. And God should not be put in a box. God does not need to be put in a box. He doesn't like it, shouldn't have that happen. And everybody has a calling that's different. Not everybody is going to be a pastor. Not everybody is going to be doing ministry like on social media. You have your own calling that God knows. And so have your own personal relationship with God. So it's like, get your own revelations from Christ himself. I used to do this thing where like all I ever needed or wanted, not needed, but all I thought I ever wanted and needed was validation from other people. Like even in the church, like I thought I had to have their approval, their stamped approval on the things that I was doing, when that's not the case at all. I mean, I have a perfect situation that I don't need to go into too much detail of, but who I ended up marrying, or I'm sorry, I'm not married yet, but who I ended up being engaged to and pursuing a relationship with, there were so many people that I wanted approval from, and God wasn't giving them the same download that he was giving to me. So they were leading me astray because they thought off of their own experience what God did with them was what he was going to do with me. And a lot of people are going to do that to you. They're going to give you their own advice based off of their own experience, which I don't always think is wise. Like I'm saying, like, I can tell you what's happened in my life, but that doesn't mean that that's exactly what's happening in your life. And I think that takes a spiritually mature person with discernment to be able to discern the difference between, you can give someone advice, like I'm giving you advice right now about my life, but I'm not saying to you, and if there was a specific situation you were going through, I'm not saying to you, because I don't know, unless God told me himself that, like, I don't know if you're supposed to break up with your boyfriend or not break up with him because the Lord didn't tell me. There could be a lot of indicators that you're supposed to, depending on the situation. And if you were to talk to me about it, I could discern on my own, and I could be like, well, yeah, it doesn't look like he is like maybe the type of person God wants you to be with. But ultimately, if I don't also feel like, you should be able to also go to God and he will also tell you. And so that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, you don't always need other people's approval to do something, and take everything back to God on your own. You want to start this, you want to do that, you ask someone for advice and prayer, that's amazing. But you go back to your house and your prayer closet and you pray about it. You ask God straight to like himself. Like, you don't have to always like have someone else's stamp of approval, because ultimately they're not God, and you don't want to idolize other people either. So if I would have just listened to God with so many things in my life, I would have alleviated so much stress, you guys, like so many different like opinions and just a lot of confusion that was caused by myself, that the enemy was having a field day with. So keep that in mind, that you can always, and you should always, take things back to God on your own and have a personal relationship with him. It's not always going to look how my relationship is or someone else's relationship is, and you should have no shame. And shame doesn't come from God, it comes from the devil, but you should have no shame or condemnation with any of that. Okay, number 6, stop hanging out with friends that are jealous of you. Yeah, I'm just going to say that again. Stop hanging out with friends that are jealous of you. Dun, dun, dun. Like, literally, this is so near and dear to my heart. Okay, let's just say you're with a group of your girlfriends, and it just seems like there's this one girl who like never wants to celebrate you. You can feel it. You can kind of tell. But with your, like, when you see her with your other friend, like, she's always hyping your other friend up. She's always commenting on her stuff. She's always like talking about her other friend. But like, when it comes to you, she never wants to say anything to you, never wants to make you feel good, never wants to give any of the light to you, or, you know, just something that a true friend would do, because a true friend should be able to celebrate you, a true friend. So there's nothing I hate more than a jealous friend who isn't secure in herself enough to be able to celebrate you, because that is not a true friend. I mean, the person could be really insecure, but that doesn't mean that you have to be friends with someone who doesn't know how to celebrate you. And I just wish that I hadn't been friends with so many people, and that can sound so harsh, but like, I never knew my worth. Like, people who like are friends with you, like, you'll be able, like, truly friends with you, like, they should hype you up and not make you feel like you're like better than anyone else and all these things, like, but there are elements to being a good friend. And like, if you can just sense that like jealousy thing, like you think that girl is jealous of you, like she probably is, and there is so much grace for this. Like, I'm not condoning to go and like cut off anyone, but maybe have a conversation with her and be like, hey, like I feel this way towards you, like, or are there things that like, you know, you feel towards me, because I just don't feel like you're being like true to me. Like, there's things that you should definitely call out. As I mean, if you guys have been friends for a long time, I mean, it's something that you should definitely call out before you guys even invest more into that relationship, because God says where jealousy is there's all other kinds of evil. And so I just think you have to be very, honestly, I'm just being honest. Like, if someone's jealous of you, nip it in the butt. Like, it is not even worth your time to entertain that. I mean, it's like, they'll never be able to celebrate you. They will just be kind of like nasty, giving you like comments, like things like that. Like, it's just, you need to nip it in the butt. Like, I mean, there's just no room for that, and you don't need that. And you don't want a friend like that. That's not even a true friend. So if you feel like someone's in secret competition with you, just nip that in the butt. If you have to, I know how painful it can be to even like, I don't know, have to end a relationship or friendship because of it. But if you feel like what's best for you is that you have to take space away, then you do that. Or if you feel like you need to have a conversation, I mean, that's probably the first thing that I would do, is have some type of conversation or not confrontation, but like some type of confrontment. I would do that and just have that hard conversation, honestly. And if you notice behaviors of someone doing that and you guys are close, I just think that it's not worth your time, because I've been there and I've done that, and it just causes me stress. And I've invested in a lot of friendships that I've ended up having to literally just, we're not friends anymore. And it was just like a lot of my time that unfortunately was, you know, now I don't have those friends. So yeah. And then the other thing I want to say is like, don't be the jealous friend. Like, don't. It's just not cute. It's not nice. It's one thing about, I do want to preface, like, there's a difference, because I feel like jealousy is something that we as women especially can feel often. I think that if I wasn't rooted in God, I would act upon the jealousy, but because I'm a Christian and I think it is the ugliest trait alive, anytime I feel it, like instantly, like let's just say I start to feel it, I'm not even exaggerating you, immediately, like the second I feel any ounce of jealousy, you guys, I'm not kidding, I'm like, Jesus, remove it, like take it out. Like, it is such, I can't explain it other than like, it's such a lie. Like, it's such a lie that you think someone else is better than you, or you think that you're below, like, it's just all insecurity. It's a lie. It's not true. And it's a very ugly trait, and it'll destroy your life. Like, jealousy has killed people. Like, literally, this is what I'm trying to say. Like, people who are jealous of friends and stuff, like, you have to be careful at the same time, because you'll be walking with someone thinking they're your friend, and they're not your friend at all, and they're actually preying on your downfall. Like, that's the danger of jealousy. And I'm telling you, yes, remove those friends, but also don't be that friend. Don't be the friend who's jealous of your friend, of everything that she has going on, because the truth about that is that there is room for all of us to succeed and to be celebrated. There's room. And there's a lie that people believe, that there's not room, that if your friend succeeds, it means that you can't succeed. No. And that's what Jesus has taught me. Walking as a Christian, when I see my friend win, it actually just shows me that what God can do with her, that God can do with me. And that's the mindset that we have to have. That's the heart posture we have to have. Because you'll never be a really good friend being jealous. There's nothing that good that will come of you being jealous of someone. And so I just want to preface that there are definitely times when you're friends with people, and maybe, you know, they get something that you want. I totally know what that feels like. Like, I know what it feels like to be like, oh my goodness, like, I'm so happy for you, but like at the same time, I'm a little bit disappointed that like I don't have that that, I want to preface, I believe is healthy. I believe it's okay to feel so excited for your best friend, but at the same time being like, dang, like I wish I had that too. I wish God was doing that with my life. I'm going to pray for that. And I'm honestly going to be honest with my friend and tell her, like, I'm so happy for you, but of course I wish that this was happening with my life. But it doesn't take away from you. Like, get to that level of maturity where you can be happy for other people, but not wishing them harm. Because the second you feel that in your heart, you need to take that to God, because it will ruin your friendships, it will ruin your life. And so it's a very big thing. Jealousy, if you can't get a hold of it, will creep into your heart and make you bitter. It'll make you constantly feel like you never have enough, and it's not godly. And it's just it's I believe a lot of friendships are broken from it because of their own doing. That God wants to put people together, but because of our flesh, it creates a lot of jealousy. And I just think, don't be the jealous friend. Be the one who actually encourages people and supports them and waits on God and prays for their friends and believes that their time will come. Like, your time will come. And learn how to celebrate people while you don't have it, because that shows the character of Christ. And being a good friend should be more honored than being jealous. And you should take that to God and take those feelings to God. And being a great friend should be something you strive for. And can I just tell you something? Like, there is nothing like being a confident friend. There's nothing like being a confident person. Confident in the way that you look, confident in the way that God created you, confident in the way that you are as a friend. And there's nothing more beautiful than being truly happy for your friends. I mean, when my friends go through, when my friends go through hard things, I weep with them. God says that God changes your heart to be like, I mourn with you. There's nothing more beautiful than that. And that should be what your focus is on. Not wanting your friends to fail or wanting your friends to not do as good as you. I mean, that's just not going to help you. That's just not going to make you be who God has called you and created you to be. You're really secure, you can then celebrate other people. And that should be the goal. That's my advice to you. Get to the place where you are secure enough that you can celebrate other people, even when it's hard. Because that will really, truly move God. That is a godly woman. So the seventh thing I have is the sun before the screen. So I actually heard this recently on a podcast. So it cut off again, but like I was saying, the sun before the screen it's just really helped me, to be completely honest, and I feel like it's just really important. And scrolling is essentially, I feel like it's just like not good to do, especially first thing in the morning. Honestly, I try to eliminate it at all costs. Sometimes I will like want to look at inspiration, Pinterest, things like that, but I think just like numbing yourself by scrolling on social media isn't productive, it's not healthy. And I just think that first thing in the morning, I like to spend my time feeling good and just doing things that make me feel good. And also, I also read somewhere that the first thing you do when you wake up is like the first thing your brain gets addicted to. So it's like a dopamine hit almost, like, a dopamine hit. And so I try to make sure for the first thing I do, and I don't always do this, like I'm human and sometimes I don't do this, but I significantly notice the difference when I do not go on my phone first thing. I am much more focused. So I feel like giving God your firsts is really important, and he'll bless you throughout the day by doing that. And if you do catch yourself going on your phone, don't be hard on yourself. Just put it in another room and pray about that too. Like if it's something you're addicted to, like truly pray about it and be like, God, I really need help with this. And yeah, it's not going to help you to walk in the purpose that you were called to do and walk in. And so, yeah, there's just like so much beauty in nature, so much beauty in silence, and not always numbing yourself by like looking at your phone or scrolling. So, like my morning routine just consists of usually waking up and trying to spend time with God as much as I can first thing in the morning, depending what time I wake up at. I usually go to bed really early and try to wake up while it's still kind of, I don't know if it's necessarily dark, but around like 6 in the morning is like my time, but you find what works best for you. If you have work, you will probably have to get up a little earlier. I just think there's just nothing like waking up and there's just pure silence and it just feels like you're the only one up. And I just literally like crave going back to those like moments because it just like makes me feel grounded and like I'm with God, and I just feel so much better. And it makes me set my day up for success and just be able to journal. And these are things I never did before I was a Christian, things that I didn't do growing up. And so I just wanted to tell you some things that has really helped me. And that is a big piece of my advice. Like, start your day off with God, because it is so, so, so crucial for your relationship with him, and make time to spend time with him. And the first thing you do when you wake up, it's like you want to fill yourself with goodness. You want to fill yourself with things that are going to help you to, thrive the best of your ability. So that's my take on it. Number 8 is make church a priority and be faithful. So I cannot tell you guys how much joy and how different and amazing in the best way possible my life has been since going to church. And I grew up Catholic, but never really went to church. We went a little bit. We'd go on like Easter, very ritual based. Like, I didn't have like, I always loved God, but I didn't have like a relationship with Jesus. So it wasn't until I had went through really some traumatic things that led me back to my faith, and it led me back to God. And so I was like, wow, like I didn't realize how much I needed this. I didn't realize how much I needed Jesus like in my life. And so going to church has just given me so much hope in life and faith and encouragement, and like, who doesn't need that? And so don't be like swayed by people who think like going to church is weird. I remember when I was younger, I used to think it was so weird to like go to church and to pray and like talk about God. And now I could not be more opposite. Like, I embrace who I am, and I embrace Jesus in my life, and I honestly boldly tell people, and I don't even really care if I come off like I'm obsessed with God or whatever. Like, honestly, I am. And I am obsessed with Jesus, and he has saved my life. And I think everybody needs hope. And I think it's actually really encouraging to be bold about your faith. I think it shows a lot about someone. And I think it's what the world is missing. And that's just my take on it. And I think you have to find God on your own. I think you have to it's like a personal relationship. And so I can't tell you like how to have your relationship with Jesus. All I can do is share with you my relationship with Jesus and how much it's changed my life. And going to church, it just gives me so much joy. Like, every Sunday I go, like, it's just, even if the word is not necessarily encouraging, and it's like what the pastor says is actually like, I like when people give me the hard truth. Like, I feel like people who love you tell you the truth with love, with good motives, with a pure heart behind it. And so that's what I really honor about going to church, is there's so many people there who just, you can see that they have Jesus in their hearts. You can see that they care about you. They take the time to smile at you and open doors for you, and just do little things that when you go into the world, like, you don't see that. And it's so cutthroat, but like, it's like when you enter church on Sunday, it's like they do worship songs and they like sing, and there's just the sermon is always so, it's encouraging. I don't want to say it's like always what you want to hear, but it definitely is encouraging, because even if it's something hard to hear, like it might be calling you out of sin or something, it's leading you the right way to truth. And so I just think it's such a blessing. And then I love obviously going with like my fiance. We love going to church together, and like we really want to build our family on God, and it's just such a big thing to us. And there's just nothing more beautiful than that. Like, it's just so amazing. And I wish that my younger self would have known that, and hopefully it gives you advice. Like, I also think Bible studies are cool, and like, they're cool. Like, I'm literally here to make Jesus cool again. So it's like, that's basically what I'm trying to tell you. Like, don't think it's weird to go to church and like think it's weird to read your Bible. It's not weird. It's weird to be like everybody else, essentially, and do things the world's ways. Like, be a leader, It really is just life-changing. Okay, number 9 is stop obsessing about your weight in the most kind way possible. That's for all of us, but and I know this can be a touchy subject, but once I stopped performing so much and caring about how I looked to like a certain degree, and just having like a healthy relationship with food in general and the gym, I started to feel more free, and you could truly just like see it on my face. I think find the things that work for you. You don't have to do what everybody else is doing, because I think it's important to find the things that help you in your life and your like personality even. Like, so I know that like Pilates is trending and stuff, but I go to bar Pilates. I've tried it. I like it. I like truly love it. I also weight train because I think it's really important to build muscle. Those are foundations that I have built for myself. But you might not like that. You might go and be like, this is too slow, or this is not fast enough, or I don't like the way this makes me feel. Like, you don't have to copy what other people do. Like, be your own person and try different things and see what works. Maybe you like Zumba. Maybe you like walking. Maybe you like CrossFit. Like, there's just so many different types of workouts, and you don't have to just like single it to one. That's why I like adding in, I go to Pure Barre and I like adding it in because I like being social. I like seeing people. And then also, it also helps me to be motivated to get there. And I am usually someone who goes to the gym by myself. So sometimes it's like hard to always motivate yourself to get there. Personally, I like the differences in, like, I love strength training because I think it's really important to build muscle. But I also really like small movements, toning, lifting, burning. Like, I think that works for my body and that helps me build muscle. But your body is completely different to my body. So I think find what works for you and something that you truly enjoy. Like, you're not going to enjoy working out if you don't like the types of workouts you're doing. So you don't have to copy what everyone else is doing. Try to just find things that you like to do. So that's like kind of on the workout portion. But I was going to say, oh, and then just like talking more about like health, like in the sense of like stop obsessing over your weight. Like, I used to be like vegan and like dairy free and like all these things, which absolutely no shame or shade to you if you are that, like that, if that works for you, that's amazing. But for me personally, it just didn't work for me to continue to do that. As I started to get older, I could tell my energy levels, like I wasn't eating enough protein, and then I started praying about it, and I felt like God was saying to me, at least, like that there's so much like power in just like whole foods, like things that like I like whole milk, I like real foods from the ground, like I almost call them like God foods, vegetables, like really fresh meat, like grass-fed meats. Like, I love cooking and I love like if I'm going to spend my money, it's probably going to be on really good food. So that's just me. It could be partially because I'm Italian and it's cultural, but like I would rather spend on like really good food than like maybe, this might sound weird, but like traveling all the time. Like, I don't know. I think it's just like picking what matters to you. But I do think that eating healthy, obviously, and getting in a lot of different like vegetables and stuff throughout your lifestyle is really wise. And when I was in high school, I used to just eat like a pepperoni sandwich with Cheez-Its every single day. And I just like, even if I could eat that and like not gain weight, doesn't make it like healthy or wise. So I love going to the grocery store. I love going to Whole Foods and finding the things that they have there and just like reading the ingredients and making sure they're really good for my body, with the mindset of like the 80-20 rule. Like, I don't limit myself from anything, but I definitely have more like 80% of things that are healthier for me. So that's just my take on it. I think that will definitely help you to find something that works for you and get in lots of vegetables. Make sure you're drinking water and stuff. I've noticed a huge difference in my energy levels while being on like an animal-based diet. I don't like using the word diet, but while eating like really good proteins and things like that. And the way that I sleep, I just feel like I perform better as an athlete, especially as I'm working out. And just everything, honestly, is game changer. This is such a huge part of my life. Like, this has to be a whole other episode because I feel like a lot of us women are under eating. Like, we're not eating enough foods and getting enough minerals that we need for our bodies. And I think it's sad because society tells you like to focus on what you look like and like everything is about the scale, but like that's not healthy. And so it's like, that's when like I feel so much more free. I felt more free when I let go of all of that. And like, yes, obviously you working out, you're going to look good because you're working out. But like, I really, really love to focus on things that make me feel good. And if that means I'm going to be 5 pounds heavier or 5 pounds lighter of muscle, then so be it. Like, I want to make sure I feel amazing. And it's not like, I'm not working out now anymore to like just look better. Like, I think it's a given as you're working out, you're going to like look better. But I love doing things that are going to make me like literally feel better. And so I think that just might come with age. It might come with more confidence, like more security maybe, because I know before I would just work out to like look good and I didn't care. I would eat whatever I wanted. I just don't think the two should coincide. Like, if you're going to work out, I think you should also be eating enough proteins, making sure you're like satiating yourself with like really high fibers, and it's just like the little things that really matter the most. So make sure you're eating your things. Don't feel like I eat a lot, honestly, for like my age and for my, like my friends are like, wow, you eat a lot. Like, it's also because I work out a lot. And so, yeah, it's not like a one size fits all. Like, hopefully this makes sense and is like freeing you, because don't feel shame, like, because like other people, like everybody's body's so different. So yeah, make sure you're just doing what works for you. And then number 10 is don't settle for any guy. Okay, like at all. Don't settle for any guy. So I just got engaged and it's so exciting. I can't tell you guys how thankful I am for who I'm with. Like, truly, take it from me. Like, I am with the most, like, God couldn't have handpicked him better himself. And the way that I could have just not been with him because of if I settled is insane to me. And I'm so thankful that I never settled before meeting Nick, my fiance. And the way that he treats me is truly just like a princess. Cause like I always hear these sometimes, and like I'll feel like people feel like, well, that's so like out of touch. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, we've had our fair share of like arguments and things that we go through. Like, don't act like I don't want you to think it's like, oh my gosh, yeah, like he is just the best. We don't ever argue. Like, no, we do. But at the core, he's a good man. And like, that is what I prayed for. I wanted a good man, like a man who is gentle and like Jesus, like patient and kind, like at his core. And yeah, we're both gonna like do things that upset each other, and you can't expect people to be perfect. Like, they're just not gonna be. And you see all sides of this person and you decide to stay with them through the things they're going through, but hopefully you have a good judge of character. And yeah, but to the flip side of that, I do feel like there's a lot of girls who do settle for way less than they deserve, and they don't even have like a standard because they don't even know what that's like. They don't even know what it even feels like remotely to be treated by someone who actually they deserve to be treated by. So it's like me when I was younger, I don't even think we dated. It was like that talking thing. Like, just like there were guys I would talk to that I thought like if he called me on the phone, it was like, oh my gosh, like I'm like, no, this is like a big deal, you guys. And like, my mom was like, what are you talking about? Like, no, it's not. Like, he needs to take you out on a date, like in public. Like, what do you mean? Like, so like, I just didn't know, like just naive, like, you know. And so I don't think your boyfriend has to like, I don't know, fly you flowers every single day. But I do think there's a level of that type of commitment, and he will do little things for you if he does love you. And the saying, if he would, what is it? It's like, if he wanted to, he would, is true. And you should live by that. Because if he wanted to, he would. But with that being said, I do feel like Nick and I did have to work a lot of things through together. And so just have open communication with the person you're with. Also, if you don't feel like like a relationship is from God, then like if you're with someone and you like know in the back of your head that you're just like kind of like not 100% about that relationship, like you're just like, no, like I'm just trying to see, but it's been a year, and you're like, you know, like in your heart, like you're completely leading this person on, or like you kind of can't see yourself aligning with them in the future, and you're just like, are scared to eventually break things off. Like, my advice to you is do it as soon as you can. Like I'm not condoning you to like go break up with someone, but like I'm speaking to the person who knows that like they don't see a future with this person, but they're with them and they are just like with them because of fear. It's just not worth it in the end. Like, you are honestly hurting someone, and then also you're not doing yourself a service either, because it's like, you know that God has better for you, but you're just scared that you won't find someone else. So I think not settling takes so much faith, and I just hope my story is an encouragement to you. And I have plenty of videos and stuff and videos coming out of like my story, but like my story is such, hopefully it gives you encouragement that Jesus, like, to wait for God's best and to be with somebody who does the most for you without you having to give them your body yet. Or because the thing about sex is it can get so messy, because it's like it skews things, because sex can be so often mistaken for love. And without going into it too much, like, when you're having sex with somebody, it skews each other's vision, because how would you know if they really love you? Like, if you're not giving them the most vulnerable part of their body. Like, I'm with somebody who we're waiting until marriage, and I'm doing what the Lord has said for us to do, that I feel like gets a bad rep. Like, people think like it's weird, and it's, some people do, some don't, but obviously it's like not as common. And again, this is just what I'm doing, but when I'm with someone who I'm not giving my body to, but he wants to marry me, and he bought a house, and he wants to buy, like, he gave me the most beautiful proposal. It's like I know for a fact that he loves me. Like, it's such a good feeling, like, knowing that, like, he loves me without the sexual part. He loves me without having to see my body. Like, that's crazy to me, because like growing up, I feel like everything about me was so sexualized, and everybody just would like be like, oh, you're so hot. Like, everything was about how I looked. And so it was hard for me to tell that, like, if guys ever liked me truly for who I was, because everything was just about my body. And like, obviously Nick is attracted to me, but it's not like, that's not the most fascinating part about me. And that's not the most fascinating part about you. And your worth comes far more than just the way that you look. And so if anything, actually, Jesus doesn't even care about that. Like, that's not what makes somebody beautiful. It's not how they look. It's who you are. It's what you carry inside of you. And yes, if you have the gift of beauty, then you use it for God and God only, and your husband. And so there's just a lot of beauty misused. And I just think if us women knew our worth and our value, then we would pick better men. And so I say that with compassion, because I've been there before. But yeah, don't be with someone who's not, is not even really about you. Like, don't do it just because you're afraid. And look at other girls who you're inspired by and be like, if God can do it with her, then he can do it with me. So like, if God could do it with me, he absolutely will and can do it for you. And he like, sometimes good things, they do take time. Like, don't settle for anyone, even if you're 30, 40. Like, don't go by society's standards of the timeline. Like, oh yeah, you have to be married by 20 and have kids and blah, 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 blah. Like, no, that's not. God's ways are higher than our ways. So you don't have to settle for someone because you're afraid that you're going to be 30 and you're not going to find someone. Have faith through this process of singleness. And also, I just want to point out, like, I was always the single one throughout high school and college, and I definitely felt lonely. Like, there were times, I mean, everyone had a boyfriend at one time and I didn't. And so everybody was always trying to fix me up or find me someone. And I was always just like, look, like, I'm good. Like, you can obviously, like, go ahead. Like, send me if you think he's a good guy, a good match. But I used to be like, I really feel like God will give me someone who I know is his best in his timing. And a lot of it isn't just about, it's not just about, like, God works in mysterious ways. So it's like, he might want you to get to a certain point before he brings you someone. He might want you to be more secure in yourself, more selfless, more, like, it's hard to love. Actually, it's nearly impossible to love someone before you love yourself. I mean, if you don't have those, like, if I met Nick and I didn't have the love I had for myself, I wouldn't have even known what it was like to be treated by someone good. I just wouldn't have had that standard. So, you know, a lot of it is like, you're on a journey of healing. You're on a journey of discovering yourself, and you're young, and there's a lot that God wants to do with you before he brings you your husband. And so just be proactive in the waiting. Like, don't just be like sulking and crying and like, oh my gosh, like, I'm never going to find someone. Like, yes, you are. And if it's a desire that you have from God, have faith in that, because he wants to give you the desires of your hearts. I promise you. And so, yeah, I just think that what God gives you might take longer, but it's worth the wait. It just is. In every area of life, it's worth the wait. Please take it from me. To be loved the way that I'm loved right now by Nick is like unexplainable. You can't put money, like you can't put a dollar sign behind it. And what feels even better is me knowing that I know my worth. And so I think that's all glory to God, because he's helped me get there, and you guys know my journey. So that's on that. And then 11 is be content. So just in all areas of life, this was something I had struggled with so bad. You guys, like so bad. I was never content. Even growing up, like even as a child, like there was something, like I was never content. Like I'd get something and I'd instantly want something else, like right away. Or if I got a gift, I wanted a bigger gift. Like there was just like a lot of greed in my heart, and I just wasn't content. And yeah, I just can say that I used to live a very, very discontent life. No matter what I did, nothing would fill me. And until I met Jesus, I just had such an ungrateful heart. Like I just was like not a grateful person. I don't know. It was just like really bad. And I would compare myself to all my friends who had like bigger houses than me, like nicer cars than me. Like I just would always feel so small because I wouldn't focus on the things that I had. I would focus on the things I didn't have. And it led me to just being really discontent and ungrateful and bitter and resentful. And it showed on my face, and I didn't have light to my face because it was like I walked around acting like I had nothing, when in reality, I had everything I needed and more. I just was being super ungrateful. And sometimes you just have to have that honest conversation with yourself, that like true, genuine, hard, this is what I'm talking about, like hard truths, like people calling it out of you with love, like, hey, like I love you, but like you're super ungrateful. Like you're not grateful for what you have. And once God made that shift in my heart, my life quite literally changed. I was like slapped in the face with conviction. And honestly, I was just sick of being a victim. I was sick of living the way, I was sick of feeling that way. I was sick of like that self-pity, like, I don't know. I just was so sick of it. I was sick of like not feeling grateful. I was like, why are other people so happy and content, but they have less? Like it didn't make sense to me. So I just was like, sometimes you have to be the one, like God's waiting on you. Like he's like, I've given you all the things, like just choose, So yeah, I just started having a different heart. I would pray over my heart. I'd be like, God, help me to be content and to just be grateful for what I have. And it's something I still do to this day, like every day. I mean, yeah. So once that shift actually happened, like things did start changing, and I started focusing on the things that I had, not the things I didn't have. And that led me to having so much joy. And we all know that comparison is the thief of joy. So always remember that. So number 12, moving on, is you don't have to be the loudest in the room. That is a really big piece of advice. This is something I wish that I knew when I was younger. And I thought that the loudness equaled to confidence. So like, I thought that meant I had to be like the loudest. I don't know. I thought I had to be the loudest in the room to like be the most confident. I do have a naturally very, very outgoing and bubbly personality, which is very interesting because I'm an introvert by nature, but like I am definitely an extrovert as well. But I love spending time alone more than I like being social, which is probably super weird. So I don't know what I am, but I definitely have a very, I think personality does go hand in hand with this. However, there's definitely times I would like put on this like facade thing. I don't know why. I just like put this facade on to like, it was because I felt small. So I tried to be big, if that makes sense. But it wasn't like, it was like a false confidence. It wasn't like true confidence. And I would always have this problem with like performance. Like growing up, that's all I knew. I thought I didn't know unconditional love like Jesus. Like I had to earn things. I had to perform to be loved. I had to perform to be seen. And so I was an athlete my whole life. So like I kind of took that and like put it into like my social life as well. Yeah, so that was kind of how I used to be. And then I could not be further from that now, which is so crazy, the work God's done in me. But I no longer really care like for validation. I just don't need it. I mean, it's still something I still have to pray about like from time to time, but like it's not like I don't seek out for someone to be like, "Oh, I love," like to affirm me. Like I don't need it. If anything, I care more about what my people think of me, the people that I have in my life, the closest people to me. And those are the people that I care about because I know they actually know me. But like other than that, like people from Instagram, people from like, I don't even know, like going into any setting, like I really just don't care like what they think of me because it's like they don't know me like at all. So it's like it just doesn't bother me. And I think that's made me feel like I don't have anything to prove. So that has made me feel like I don't have to be the loudest in the room. And Jesus says in Colossians 3:12, anyways, put on therefore as the elect of God, holy and beloved, bowels of mercy, kindness, humbleness, and mind and meekness. And the truth is like if you have the Lord inside of you, your presence will shine so bright that you won't even have to say anything at all. Let me say that again. The truth is that if you have the Lord inside of you, his light will shine so bright inside of you that you won't even have to say anything at all. And when you walk into a room, true confidence isn't having to prove yourself, and it's not having to be like all this like loud person. It's like a true meekness that like I'm desired and like or I guess like attracted to. And you don't always have to put in like your 2 cents, and that might make you mad, but like to be heard, it's just something to think about. Like you like I'm not saying to be like a doormat, but I just feel like there's just something that turns me off about someone who gives that like kind of like someone who gives like it's my way or the highway type of vibe with like their body language. Like, I don't know. It's just like it's not cute. And like I can see through it like everything because maybe it's how I used to be. And I'm not judging them. I'm just like, I'm trying to give you hard truth advice. Like it's not cute and it's not truly confidence. So it's like that, like it's my highway or it's my way or the highway type of body language just like is my take on it. And so I know you're probably like, I don't know, just being meek is not a weakness. Like God says for us to be that way. Like again, when you walk into the room, if you have Jesus inside of you, like, or if you have goodness and love and kindness like inside of you, like you don't have to be the loudest. Like you'll shine the brightest. And like it's not about being better than anyone. And I think that that's what this is about. Like it's not a competition. It's not like, oh, am I gonna, but it's about just being authentically you. And you're authentically you and you don't need validation and you're super content with who you are and how God created you to be, and you're not looking for outward validation and external like compliments in a sense. Like compliments obviously are nice, like obviously, but it's when they move you a lot, you have to be a little bit like that's a check in your spirit, because it's like if you're moved by compliments, and you're definitely going to be moved by criticism, and if vice versa, if you're really hurt by other people's criticism, you're probably really swayed by people's compliments. But either or, that doesn't really make you confident, because it's like it's on external validation. So it's like Jesus already says you're enough, so you shouldn't have to get that from other people to feel better. Obviously, a compliment is going to feel better. Like, I love your outfit. Oh my gosh, thanks. Like, that's totally normal. But it's like, if you needed that to feel good, that's when I think you should go in your alone time and pray and ask God to search your heart, and ask him, which, by the way, I have to do and have done very often. So I don't want you to feel like you're alone in this. So that's just my two cents on that. And then 13th is super simple, and I thought it was cute, but it is just smile, because the world is already full of unhappy and grumpy and broken and just miserable, shall I say, strangers who just like, we know what that's like. So it's like, just smile, because it just is so uplifting and it warms someone's heart. And just smile at strangers. Be kind. Like when you go to the grocery store, like maybe ask the person, like, oh, the cashier, how was your day? Like truly genuinely care. Like, or you don't even have to say anything at all. Like my sister is, she's like a perfect example of like just like that resting mean face. And I'm just so like, it's just personality. I'm always like, do like smiling like all the time. But there's definitely been moments when I've been so annoyed in life and just like walking around like looking miserable, and I can tell the difference. Like when, you're just like not like you're doing it for other people, but like you should be like thinking of other people a little bit when you're like walking around. Like you just don't know the difference you can make if you just like give a warm smile to people. Like it just, even that can show and spread the gospel, is a smile. And that is what I'll end on that. I have 2 more. So 14 is stop keeping up with the trends. So I know that might be hard to hear. And you don't have to do any of these things, but if you're watching and you're curious of the advice I'd give you, you don't have to do all these things just because everyone is saying you have to, and to like keep up with the Joneses and to like look like everyone else. I think it's beyond exhausting. And I think finding what works for you is going to be just really different and like unique. And one time I was at a workout class and I saw this girl, and not to be like, I don't know, but she kind of was just like more, maybe not what society would have painted like a trending girl. She just was like more kind of like basic. Like she had a basic white tee on and like cute leggings or whatever. But it was just like in the way that she walked, like she kind of just like held herself like different. I don't know what it was. Like this was a long time ago, but like I would just be like in my head, I'm like, I want to be like that. Like she just looked super confident and like cool, and just like, but she didn't look like she didn't have like all of the typical things maybe society would have said was cool. But I don't know, I just was so drawn to it. And I was like, she just looks so confident and like she just doesn't care. And I want to be more like that. And there's just so much power in authenticity, because authenticity is just being you and being who God created you to be. There's literally no other you. So it's like, why would you waste your time being someone else when God created you to be you? And it's just like so unique, and you have things about you that nobody else has. To be one of a kind is really not that hard. You just lean into your heart and you ask God to show you who he's called you to be, and you walk in those things. It's like, it's just being authentic, and it's a really big trendsetter anyways, because it's teaching other people to be themselves as well. And so just remember, you don't always have to have the newest bag or the newest, latest, whatever, skincare product, whatever. You can, and that's fine too, but like, you don't need it to make you more anything. And so I just want you to know that, because obviously a lot of things go trending and go viral. And so, yeah, I will sometimes time to time buy viral things. Like, I'm not saying I'm not like a culprit to that, but you just don't need it. And I hope that that's like making sense to you, that you're enough already without these things, and they don't make you any like more cool. That's really not what God cares about. And trust me, you just want to be more authentically you. Like the girl I saw at the gym, like she just gave off such an amazing, she was so kind. Like it was just like something I was really drawn to. And it's not always easy, because we see a lot of these people like doing all these things, but I think it's necessary. And it's definitely taken me some time, but it's possible, and it is extremely freeing. I will say that. So lastly, I'm at number 15, but this is just going to be, I think, the best one yet. Share your faith. And I know that this can be hard, really hard. It's taken me, quite a bit of time. I've been walking with God now for like 6 years, but it's even definitely out of your comfort zone. I can understand that. But people need to know Jesus. Like they need to know Jesus more than your uncomfortableness. And so, again, thinking about having a more sacrificial life, it's like thinking of other people's like uncomfortableness. So it's like 5 minutes of awkwardness for you, but an eternity for someone else. And so you have to really think about that. And I get it, like, but just from me being vulnerable and having courage, you guys, like, I can't tell you how many messages I get like randomly that like encourage me. Cause sometimes I put these out and I'm like, are these really even helping people? Like you see the views and stuff, but you're just like sometimes, I don't know. It's just, you can get in your own head. And like, I have had people and girls, like girls come up to me or message me, and I'm so thankful for them, because they don't know how much it really does encourage me, you guys. Like when I hear that, it's just like, all I ever pray for and hope for is that this just like touches you in any capacity, just one thing even. And they've just said like just like stuff about my faith. Like they've been like, just from you sharing, like you've genuinely made me want to go closer to God, or like you've made me help me want to like be more modest, and like, or just like be a woman of God, and like all these things. And so, that's genuinely something I pray for every single day. And I used to care so much what people thought, like so much. But then I started to care more about broken people who needed what I carry. And that conviction hits you so different. The people that I wasn't reaching in a day convicted me more than the fear that I used to have. And so that's like what drives me more and more every day to like basically like have courage, you know? And at the end of the day, like, honestly, we're going to have to face Jesus. And so it's like, I want him to look at me and say, well done, good and faithful servant. Like, that is truly what I want from God. Like, I don't want to leave him thinking, oh, I could have done more. Like, I could have shared my faith, but I was scared, you know, God, like, and that's just what keeps me from sharing the good news. Like, it just keeps me sharing it. And it's not about me, it's about you. And so I think of myself when I was younger, and I just like wished someone had said something to me about God or something. Like, anything really. I can't imagine how that would have impacted me. I mean, and it did. That is what made me come to Christ, through someone else. So it's like, had that person not invited me to church or something, you know, I can't imagine. And I'm so thankful for that. So it just has such an impact on people, and it's made such an impact on me. And just to finish off of that, like, God does not give us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. John 10:10. Like, I love that verse because he really doesn't give us a spirit of fear. He gives us a spirit of power, love, and a sound mind. And you don't have to be a slave to what other people think about you. And at the end of the day, I feel so fulfilled when someone's like, wow, like, what you put out really helped me. And honestly, I think that's what keeps me going, because what you have is not always just for yourself. If anything, it's for others. I mean, look at the life of Jesus. He literally came to serve and to help and to wash people's feet and to give himself as a sacrifice, as a living sacrifice, to die for us. And so if Jesus can die on a cross for us, then how come we can't just say to some person, Jesus loves you, or anything about God? God has a plan for you, anything encouraging. And so let that convict you and inspire you and encourage you to use the strength you have inside of you and the authority to just, you know, the devil's afraid of you actually stepping into your power. Like, he's afraid of you actually helping that person, you know, get to know God, or helping you with that. Just, he's afraid of that. And so he's already defeated. So just use your authority that God's given you. And I know it's much easier said than done, but it really is. You just have to just use your authority and know that he's scared of you because of what's inside of you. So anyways, I hope that these encouraged you. This brings me to the end. I had about 15 different tips and just like advice that I wanted to give to girls specifically, because I know how it can be out there. I know it's not always easy. And I just also wish that some people had told me this when I was younger. So hopefully that this inspired you and encouraged you. And thank you so much if you did watch. I'm just going to pray us out. And I love you guys so much. So thank you, Jesus, for the other person on the other side of the screen, Lord. I just pray, God, that everything I said, Lord, something that I said, God, would just resonate with them, God. I pray that your spirit would just come upon them and give them peace, Lord, that surpasses all understanding. And I pray, God, that you would just know that they're so loved, that you love them so much, God, that you want the best for them and you are trying to get their attention, God, that you have a plan for their life, a purpose for their life, Lord, and that you used me, Father God, to just give you glory, God. I pray, God, that they would feel peace and comfort from this episode, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next episode. Bye.